We're here with Charlie Winston. Thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Like a Hobo's been out for a while, and you've been touring it extensively, because I think that's what a guy like you has to do, is tour extensively.
Yeah.
Are you always working on the next Charlie Winston record?
At the moment, yeah, I am. Well, I have been since I finished recording the last album. I think you've always got to feel like you're in development of something else.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be writing or on stage, you know, just developing the music and the way you play it live. But since I recorded this album, because it's my first album, it was very important for me to just write and write and write and write.
They say, you know, you have your whole life to write your first record, and then it's a hurry up for the second one, right?
Exactly. It's that. Well, I've been a little bit more fortunate because this album's had quite a long lifespan so far. Because we launched it in France, and it just kicked off like a firework, and then since then it's had a ripple effect out to the rest of the world and the rest of Europe, especially, and now Canada. So.
Let's talk a bit about France, because it's really intriguing to me that, you know, you're an artist from the UK and you've had all this amazing success in France and in other places in Europe, and yet you're not embraced in your own home country in the same way that you are in France. Can you explain that at all?
Well, I think it's just, you know, what I'm doing doesn't necessarily fit into this kind of fads and fashion that's going on in England at the moment, because England's has in the past produced so much, and still does produce so much great music. It's oversaturated with artists that are trying to do it, and also there's a very tight kind of filter for that, you know, and it's quite fashion orientated. Whereas in France, it's more about, they don't have that same pressure, and so they seem to be a lot more welcoming to music from outside. And also, it's more about, I think in France they're more interested in things which sort of have a timeless feeling, you know. And that's certainly been my prerogative in the way I write music.
Do you think you're too eclectic for the UK crowd? I mean, you're
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the case. Well, no, I think I'm too eclectic for the UK industry. I think that because I've toured a lot in England, and every gig I've done, I've had the same reaction as I had in France, in Canada, in Germany. You know, it's people really that have dug it, and I've sold plenty of albums that way. But as soon as you step into the market, then the first problem that they have is, how do we market this? You know, and I don't know, it's worked. You know, it just sometimes it works in this place and not that place, and I'm not really going to get too worried about these kind of things. You know, yes, I'm English, and it would be nice to sell records there, but I mean, Canada's a great place too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so is Germany, and so is France, and so is, you know, the rest of Europe.
And I guess at the heart of it is, it's making music and doing something that you love, and hopefully people will enjoy it no matter where they live.
I mean, I'm in a fortunate position to say that I can actually make money to continue doing what I love. You know, that's all I really care about. And if you know, if eventually England picks up on it, then they do. But if they don't, well, that's
at the heart. At the heart of what you do, you're a folk singer, and you pour it out of you every night.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Well, I mean,
I do sing to folk.
And but at the heart of what you do, you're a singer and songwriter who puts thoughts that are in here down on paper and then sing about that. Is it exhausting for you to revisit that every single time you sing a song? I mean, it's
No, it's not exhausting at all, because, like I said earlier on, it's like you're in a perpetual state of development. And at the moment you stop being, even Bob Dylan said, you need to be in a constant state of becoming. That's the way he put it. And no matter what people think, you know, you've got to find some way to keep it exciting for yourself. And as soon as you stop taking the attitude, then you are you know, you're dead in your mind. You know, and it does start to become boring.
Hit the Road is the new DVD that's out, and had a chance to screen some of it last night. And we had touched on it earlier, but the crowd in France is crazy. I mean, there's 7,000 people in a packed house watching you play and listening for every single strum of your guitar or note from your voice. And then you play a place where like in London, Ontario last night where you played, and where the crowd isn't as big and doesn't know you as well.
Yeah.
Is that refreshing for you? Is that
great.
exciting for you?
Absolutely.
To try to own it every night?
Totally. It's where it's my home ground, really. You know?
Yeah.
It's like coming home to that kind of stage. Yeah, because you've got to win people over, and that's the best challenge you can have on stage, I think. And also with the audience, the Bedouin Sound Clash have it's kind of student orientated a lot. Yeah. So you know there's a lot of heckling going on. I love that. You know, it's good to sort of kind of a bit of that going on is good.
What's next? You're touring Canada with Bedouin, and then
I'm flying to LA and doing a show there, and then one in New York. So this album wasn't released in the States, but the next album will be. So we're just preparing now for all that kind of thing. And
how far is the new record? How far away is the new record?
It's going to be recorded in spring next year, and then released at the end of the year.
Right. Yeah. So another year.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of preparation to put out a record. Like I said, the market's oversaturated these days, and you know you have to do a lot of preparation.
Let's talk a bit about the market and how you make music. And I know that you're active. Your Facebook is active, and that is that whole social media thing important to an artist of your ilk to really get the message out?
I think you have to be involved in that in some way. You know, maybe not on all of them, but. I think if you've got some medium whereby you can connect with your audience, or they can at least talk, you know, a forum where they can talk about you, and it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference for people to see that you are something's happening, you know, and that's where people go these days. Yeah. They go straight to the internet, go straight to Facebook, or I mean, I would say MySpace, but that's kind of on the decline now. Yeah. Those social network places are very important, but for me personally, I mean, there was a time when I was really involved with that, and then I realised that it was actually having not so much effect. It's like I needed to take a step away from it, but just as an artist to be able to kind of get my head back into the work, you know, because you can get obsessed with it as well. Totally. Like we all know, I mean, it's just the internet. It's another world. Right. So I kind of dip in and out of it, really.
Cool. Well, continued success, and you know, hopefully one day it'll break huge everywhere. So
thank you very much.
We hope to know you then too. Cheers.
Great.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.